Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today we're reacting to Shiva Doesn't Need Your Devotion, Sadhguru. So this one was kind of interesting. It's like, why would Shiva not need your devotion? I mean, obviously Shiva doesn't need anything, I don't think. But if you follow Shiva, you would be devoted to Shiva. It's not... It would be some... Is it something to give? But yeah, I mean, yeah, Shiva doesn't need your devotion, but would appreciate devotion from you. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started.
I noticed here that the majority of the people have a lot of devotion towards Shiva, but I came from the United States, from South Mississippi, and this yoga is new to me, like 3 months new to me, and I have an extreme amount of devotion towards you because I've experienced it, but I don't really feel the devotion towards Shiva. I know we say the mantra, but do we need to have that devotion towards him to progress in the spiritual path?
Shiva doesn't need your devotion. Just yesterday, someone was reading a passage to me from a book written by Friedrich Nietzsche. You heard of him? He's not from Missouri.
She said Mississippi.
You're from Mississippi? I'm sorry. He's not from Mississippi, from Germany. So, Friedrich Nietzsche is saying, or his character is saying, only because there are so many people to receive the light, the sun can enjoy coming up. This is German bullshit. If none of you are here, sun will still come up the same way, with the same glory. Yes, sir? He does not come up for you. This is a disease that human beings have got. They think the whole existence is human-centric. It is not so. What is here is not human. A tremendous phenomena is happening here. Nothing to do with humanity. Well, it has a lot to do with humanity, but it's not of human nature. So Shiva doesn't need your devotion. It is just that if you carry devotion in your heart, what is devotion? Let's look at this. On one level, devotion means a certain sweetness of your heart.
I'll say like is pretty consistent with that sweetness thing. I don't know what he means by it though. Like, I guess it's something pleasant.
It's the best way to be for any human being. If you do not carry this sweetness in your heart, you will be… life will do things to you and you will become bitter. Don't think you can insulate yourself. You can build a home, you can build a family, you can build a huge bank balance, you can be born in Mississippi, but you will not remain insulated. Insulation works only for a certain period of time. After that, one way or the other, life gets you. If there is no sweetness in your heart, you will become bitter, resentful. This has happened to a large segment of humanity. So on one level, devotion means an enduring sweetness of your heart, a kind of sweetness that does not depend on any outside help. Suppose you fall in love with somebody. Does it happen in Mississippi? Suppose you fall in love with somebody, your heart becomes sweet. But for how long, there is no guarantee. It can become extremely bitter because of a love affair. Yes or no? We are not wishing that, but it can become. Either because of situations, or because of disease, or because of death, or because of loss, so many ways, or simply because of boredom. The person that you thought was most exciting and fantastic, after a few years you look at them.
That's why you have to have more than just a few interests. You have to have more interest than just each other. You have to have hobbies and stuff that are entertaining. But even then, sometimes it can be, the hobbies, about this long of entertainment, then you have to find something else. But it is with that temporary thing and the fact that you're moving on from one thing to another that keeps you happy. Of course, you have to be happy with each other, but, having little hobbies that you can get here and there will help. But ultimate reality is the fact that you have to be happy with each other even without doing anything.
Did I do this mistake? You can't believe it. So many things can happen. So devotion is an enduring sweetness of heart, does not depend on anybody. So should I be devoted to Shiva? It doesn't make any difference to him. But if you are a devotee, devotion is another kind of intelligence which simple intellect is unable to understand. The nature of a rudimentary intellect is, if we want to know anything, we have to dissect it. Yes. If you become interested in somebody, dissect them. Well, you don't do it physically because the law doesn't permit it. But you mentally dissect them, isn't it? Yes or no? You mentally dissect them and come to a convenient conclusion, not truth. A convenient conclusion as you like it. And one day when that conclusion falls apart, you will become bitter. The very nature of the intellect is to put things apart. By putting things apart, you can know the utility of what it is. If I analyze this person, I can learn how to make use of her, but I will not know her. Only if I completely include her, I will know her. There is no other way. If you give a flower to somebody who's intellectually strong, if you give a flower to a scientist, first thing is he will rip it off because he wants to know what is inside. A poet will sing songs about the flower. He does not know what is inside, he does not care what is inside, but it gives him joy. A mystic will become a flower. If he looks at a flower, he will become the flower. Because for him, even a small little flower that is blossoming in something unnoticeable in the grass, even there, the hand of the Creator is actively there, isn't it? Actively there, as active as it is in this one, nothing less.
That's a very interesting way to say that. I was thinking of something else, as in like God doing it. I guess you could say it in that way too. And let me try to explain that. A lot of things thinking in my mind. So, as in God actively growing it or shaping it. But more along the lines that the DNA, RNA, and how the plant grows is constantly changing because the environment's there. But at the same time, when you think everything is Brahman, technically God is there as well. So I see the two ways to look at it. I looked at it as in the Western way, the third way, which is literally duality. God goes in there and starts messing with it. Then I looked at it as a scientific way, as in the DNA, RNA growing the plant in its way, the creation itself. And then I looked at it Advaita Vedanta, I believe, as far as I understand it, that everything is Brahman, so the creator itself is there.
If you pay enough attention to a blade of grass, you will see it has been done with enormous attention. It's been created with a phenomenal sense of attention. It's not been just made like that, okay, just a blade of grass. It was not made like that. Whoever made it paid enormous attention to it. So, a devotee is a different dimension of intelligence. He will see things that nobody else will see, because devotion means you are devoid of yourself. Between you and the ultimate reality, there is only one barrier, that is yourself. So devotion means you must become devoid of yourself. If that is not possible, at least you should reduce this heap. If you reduce this heap of garbage, suddenly you see life explodes. Life explodes in ways that you have not imagined possible. So, it is not about Shiva, it is about you. But you must walk with devotion. What you're devoted to, it doesn't matter. You must walk with absolute devotion. Devotion means you're devoid of yourself. Devotion means a heightened state of receptivity, because you're no more full of yourself. There is emptiness in you. So something can touch you, something can enter you, something can reside in you. You are looking at everything through your psychological mess, and you understand your intellect as the only intelligence. Intellect is a very rudimentary form of intelligence, useful only for utilitarian purposes. To make a living, to survive in the world, your intellect is needed. For anything else, if you want to access any other dimension, your intellect is not good enough. A deeper dimension of intelligence in you has to function. If this has to function, to be in devotion is the easiest way to do it.
I will say I remember some time ago during the religion and atheist debate, whenever I was watching it, I remember watching a statistic saying that religious people tend to be happier, and I kind of understood it whenever I heard that. I was first like, what, why? And then I thought about it a little bit, and I'm like, because they don't question things. They don't ask a lot of questions, they just accept things as they are, and they deal with it, in a sense. If I don't know how to explain that, but say for example, I guess we'll make it simple. They're living their life, they're happy, all of a sudden they come and say, hey look, you have a fine, $500 fine. They're gonna say, okay, they'll pay the fine and just continue living their life. Excuse me. They'll continue living their life. Whereas a normal person, let's just put it that way, normal person will say like, what, $500? Why? Why $500? Like, well, because of this, and this. Like, oh, no, it can't be $500. No, I gotta fight this. No, it can't be. So they're stressing out about it. Now, again, I look in the middle somewhere there where if it makes sense and you know you've done it, you can simply just pay it off and then continue living a happy life. You don't have to just accept things. You can, in a sense, analyze it without stressing out over it. Understand why something is, and then if it makes sense, then pay it. But, you know, because I think I understand that people who do not question too many things tend to get taken advantage of. Like, bad people will take advantage of them, and I've seen that. I don't want to say I've seen that. Well, I've seen that happen to me, but I've seen it like in stories online and stuff. I've seen where, like, you know, they'll take like people who are trying, like, are recovery and drugs and stuff, and they'll take them into their house, try to take care of them to better their lives, and these people will just rob them and leave, you know, and it kind of sucks. So that's why I worry about people who, I don't know how to say this, I guess, don't be a sucker, I suppose, but be helpful and kind. That's kind of, it's a hard balance there. I say I'm a middle of the grounds type of person, and I understand it's so easy to be devoted, but by being so devoted, you could end up being taken advantage of. So just be careful. I guess that's the overall message. Just be careful. Be careful. All right, that's my reaction to Shiva Doesn't Need Your Devotion. Actually, one more thing I wanted to say. She said in the very beginning that she was devoted to Sadhguru, and I wanted to say I'm not devoted to any gurus or swamis. I am devoted to knowledge, learning, knowledge and learning, pretty much. So that means that's coming from learning from Sadhguru, Swami Sarvarpiyananda, Swami Taramananda, Swami Chinmayananda, Lakhani, and Gaur Dubal Pas, and this other guru that has a very long name. But yeah, my devotion is to learning, and, you know, whoever I can learn from, I'll be devoted to learning from them, not because of them, but from them, and gathering all this knowledge and trying to make sense of it in my own mind. So anyways, I'm my reaction to this. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.